All rise for the Bullet Points national anthem. We're working on that, but we just figured something out. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Judd Dunning.
And I'm Michael Loftus. And Bullet Points is all about, it's about learning, and it's about
Enlightening?
Enlightening,
Educating.
and entertainment. LLE. Learning, enlightenment, entertainment.
We should
It's
bold
in
those.
the name. It's in the name. Okay, so here's how it's going to go. We're going to change it up this week.
Wait, we have to stop. I want to hear, I think you should use your hot tub analogy. It really is more like, it's like getting people into a hot tub.
Right. When you're talking, this is the great thing about following this show. Honestly, because every week, you're learning stuff, and we're, hopefully we're entertaining and informing. So when you come across a person on the street and they have no idea, they don't follow politics like this, you can't just go, "Bleh!" It's like just barfing on them, right? Then they freak out and they go, that person's crazy. It's like talking somebody into a hot tub. You're like, come here, watch Bullet Points. Just watch, it'll take like 18 minutes. Just watch this. And then their toes in and they're like, oh, it's hot, it's hot.
It is hot.
It is hot, it's Bullet Points. And then they slowly get in.
Welcome to our hot tub.
I love it. Welcome to our Bullet Point hot tub. We got 5 great topics.
We do.
There will be a wild card. And so we should tell people what this week's bullet points are.
Let's do it.
Let's break it down. Bullet point number 1.
Nice. The bullet point number 1, the left's full-blown purge of social media.
Skadoosh. Bullet point number 2.
Me, thank you. Dem 2020.
I'm going to throw it to you every
Dem
time.
2020 gun grab. Michael Loftus.
Bullet point number 3, Judd.
Deep state update and the Democratic Party meltdown.
They're melting down like candles on a 90-year-old birthday cake.
Chicken and everything. We're going to talk about that. Ready?
Okay, bullet point number 4.
Trump tax targeting.
They're going after him. Bullet point number 5.
This is a little bit more for our intellectual following. The long march on American institutions and what the libs are really doing in their long game.
You said that very well. They're going to promote some stuff for number 6.
We are.
And then our one for the road, our wild card. Ooh, perfectly timed. All right, so here's how it works. We got 2 minutes per topic. We're not going over this week.
Okay, I like it.
This is the promise we make every week. This week, we're sticking to it. 2 minutes per topic.
This is so good.
There will be an additional gunshot noise. Don't be scared. It's just someone with an iPhone.
We should get a license for that iPhone.
There you go. All right.
That
So our first bullet point is this big giant purge of social media. It's Twitter, it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's everywhere. That's what we're gonna discuss. We have 2 minutes to do it. Put 2 minutes on the clock. Skadoosh.
Great. I'll set it up. So bottom line is Facebook purged Milo. Louis Farrakhan was thrown in with Alex
I
Jones.
like how you call him Louis.
Yeah, Louis. It's like, hey, Louis, how you doing, you anti-Semite?
Yeah.
Oh, the Jews are termites. Like, who are you?
Who else did they purge?
They also, Paul Watson from InfoWars as well. I mean,
Yep.
we could go on and on. They left Antifa alone. They left Smash Racism alone. Twitter just took out James Woods. And Trump just came in and he said, hey, we're going to monitor the censorship of social media. So that's what's happening, Red, Blue, and Magenta, Bullet Points Nation. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. Michael Loftus.
Here's what drives me crazy, right? You're kind of in a corner in here as a small government, like capitalist person, because everybody's like, oh, well, then make your own Facebook, make your own Twitter, make your own YouTube. People are trying, okay? Like this company Gab tried to make their own Twitter, and no one will put them on their platform. No one will let them monetize anything. You can't host the site. It's very, very difficult.
Give us a slide, Michael.
I am going to give you a slide.
Slide in.
We're going to go past these guys in talking to Trump. Here's the deal, and this was pointed out on my podcast, the Loftus Party podcast. These are publicly traded companies, right? They're like AT&T, that kind of thing.
Private discretion is allowed.
Right? So it's not a private company.
Right.
It's a publicly traded company.
Right.
And there's certain guidelines you have to, you can say whatever you want on your phone, right? AT&T can't tell you, don't use hate speech on your phone.
Well, that is the argument.
I want to take away those protections. If you're a publicly traded company and you're enjoying these government protections, you have to let freedom of speech go. They have to decide. I hate to say the government has to step in, but they have to step in and say, listen, either you're a private company and you fund it all yourself and you're not publicly traded, or you're a public company, you're a utility, and people can say whatever they want.
Well, how would we do that, though? There's 15,000 people actually editorializing Facebook now. 15,000 people. So are they going to be? Are we going to interview them? Are we going to distill down what their views are? It's something to be solved. Keep watching Bullet Points because we're not being censored here yet. Thank you.
Yeah. But once we get a little bit bigger, they will censor us.
Right.
Okay, bullet point number 2.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Okay.
This is our little update on the deep state.
Yep.
Things are getting exciting.
Things are getting exciting.
Things are heating up, and the Democrat people are melting down. 2 minutes on the clock. Okay, I'm kicking this one off.
Go for it.
We are the worm is turning, and I love it. You got Big Billy Barr stepping in as the Attorney General, and he ain't playing games. He's like, I'm not going to show up for day 2 of your little goofy...
Tonight, executive privilege, as we were prepping the show, that's correct.
You might as well, and that's the first time Trump has used it. It's the first time during all of the Mueller investigation. They're like, here's all the documents. Everybody's testifying. You can have... It was open, never executive privilege. Now that it's turning into a little game, no. Invoke executive privilege. And Barr is starting to look at how this started, how they got the FISA warrants, why were they looking at Carter Page, why were they looking at these really low-level people on the Trump. I want to know. I don't want to weaponize government. I said it here on like episode 2 or episode 3. You guys, it might sound like a vast right-wing conspiracy now, but everybody benefits when there's transparency. This time, yeah, you can go, oh, Trump's being crazy. But in 8 years, and when the government is not weaponized against you, gentle viewer, you'll be happy. We got to know what's going on with secret courts and surveillance and.
Well, it's technically a coup, Michael. I mean, you're dead on. Give us the next slide. I mean, the point is that
you're really being like blammo with the slides. Oh, get
Bam!
on it.
I'm
get
pushing
excited.
I'm pushing you to slide us. No, but the bottom line is in the Ways and Means Commission this week, they're like, hey, we've got to bring out everything about Trump. They're trying to take it deeper into taxes, which we'll get to later in the show. But, the inspector, they're saying the surveillance was weaponizing. And it's going back to Obama. $972,000 went into that FISA report. It's going back to Hillary. It's going back to if they were military people, it would be a real coup. And you cannot deny that there's been some kind of collusion to take out a standing president. So
get ready for this one in the last 10 minutes. Because the FISA courts, it's all legal. I don't think anybody's really going to get into trouble. I think they followed the letter of the law.
What about Trump releasing the email? We'll see what happens, right? Does he have the WikiLeaks?
I want more.
Yeah, TikTok, baby.
We will see if it's TikTok on those two.
TikTok, Michael.
We got topic number 3. The Democrats, they're coming for your guns. It's a gun grab by a bunch of Democrat candidates for the presidency.
Out of control. War on guns.
2 minutes on the clock and a gunshot, please.
Multiple gunshots, given the topic. Thank you. All right. Yeah.
See how you did. Gun grab. Right? Okay. Nicely done. Well played.
Yeah, I have a license for these, by the way. All right. So let's jump into this. So California.
Hands are lethal weapons. Okay, go ahead.
California, New York, New Jersey, Maryland have doubled down on gun control, right? But a lot of states have pulled back. But here's the issue. After Elizabeth Warren came out for impeachment, that was last week, right?
Yeah.
Right, and then there was the Mueller report, and now that's gone, Booker and what? How do you say his name? Swalwell, Buttigieg. There's so many strange names this time.
There really is.
There really is.
Get it
but
together,
that's good.
Democrats.
We're a diverse
Pick a
country.
name we can pronounce.
And if you want to be in a diverse party, be a Republican. Anyway,
Kirsten Gillibrand.
Thank you very much. So Swalwell came out and he said, hey, look, we're going to do a mandatory buyback of a $15 billion buyback of guns. This is Australia, man.
And what happens if you don't sell your gun back?
Right. You could be in prison, incarcerated. They asked him that question. Yeah. You could go to prison. Right now, what the left has said is they want a minimum age of 21 to own or buy guns. They want you to get licensed. Not to vote, Michael, but they want to get you licensed to get a gun. Are you kidding me? Pull the trigger. Something bad. It's pretty much in our American DNA. So after you, Booker and Swalwell are out of control. They're leftists.
They are. Get your hands off our guns. I think everybody's in agreement here. I don't think you should have, an advanced guidance missile system on the top of your house.
Yeah,
I think that might be a little bit much.
That's a bit much.
But you know what? Any kind of long gun, yup, you can have it. AK, What's the big gun they have? The AR-15. Yup, you can
A
have
semi-automatic, as long as you have to pull the trigger.
Fun to know fact. When people talk about the Founding Fathers, they go, oh, they're talking about well-armed militia. No, they're talking about people being able to defend themselves against tyranny. And tyranny is someone, ironically, who wants to come and take your guns, whether you want it or not. So we have to defend ourselves. And you can use this at your next cocktail party. The Founding Fathers, there was already plans for a repeating rifle, an automatic loading, multiple shot rifle. The guy had drawn up and he's like, presented it to the Founding Fathers and they're like, we like it. So when people go, oh, they never would have envisioned a gun like, yeah, they did. They had great imagination.
Right, it's not too long. Oh, okay, so grab the guns, change religions, free speech, and then make the dictator and the state the religion and become a socialist and communist country. So guns are elemental. That's what guns are about.
You just took a leap there, and I'm into it.
Thank you very much.
Now
we just need this gun. We both like this gun.
I just want that gun to have.
I have man.
It looks like
desire.
Something out of like a real patriotic Halo.
Right.
That's
right.
Skadoosh. All right, bullet point
yeah.
number 4. We got, and I hold up a number 3. I don't know why
Let's
I
get
did
here.
that.
I'll add.
Okay. This is they're going after Trump and his taxes.
Yeah, continually.
All right. This is I'm going to say it's no bueno. We're going to put 2 minutes on the clock. Ba-boom. Go ahead, Judd. Give me some insight on what you feel about them coming after Trump's taxes.
Yeah, so Jerry Nadler of the House and Ways Commission, they do have the right actually to pull people's taxes, right? But the problem is that they've pulled taxes in the past on the Obama administration to weaponize the IRS toward conservative groups. We already know that. So Stephen Mnuchin came out and he's like, this is absolutely setting up a precedent to violate the privacy of the individual as well as target a political opponent. And the Trump administration said no way. And the other thing is, why do you want to pay more taxes? It's not the American way. I mean, people want to penalize this. This guy is donating. He's donating his salary. He's going to get tax penalties as well. Of course, anyone would. So first of all, it's our individual liberty.
Yeah, and then here's the deal. Maybe there is something in Trump's taxes. Maybe he's penniless, okay? That's not going to change my opinion of him.
Right.
It really isn't. Our economy is doing so well. We're thriving so much under his leadership. I'd be like, get out of here, you goof. But here's the deal. He's not. You have to put forward financial statements. They comb through this stuff when you run for president. If there was anything there, don't you think it would have leaked by now? Don't you think Mueller and his boys were looking through Trump's taxes? If there was anything there, it would have leaked by now. It's all a game. It's all political theater. They have to keep this narrative going all the way up through 2020. Their only hope through winning, the Democrats have no plan. They have no plan other than give away free stuff. So all they can do right now is demonize the president. And okay, Russian collusion's over, but we got to talk to Mueller and keep that going. And in the meantime, let's look at his taxes. And I'm going to have these hearings. And if you don't show up to talk about his taxes, you're in big trouble. Now you're going to be...
Because they have nothing. They have nothing for the Mueller report. They have nothing for the Electoral College, right? I mean, it's just another play for the presidency. It's just coup point 3.0.
And it has been 2.5 years of this. They keep moving the goalposts. And listen, Trump wasn't my guy. But the more they come after him, I'm like, he's the man. Like, he's like Rocky. He keeps taking these punches.
Taking them. I have to end with this. Opportunity costs. Trump's lost $700 to $800 million being president. Let's have a little bit of gratitude for this guy. Because when he pulls off of his enterprise, he's a businessman. Is he sacrificing enough? So that's another point. People forget that. When a businessman leaves business, his business doesn't keep going as well. Anyway, moving on.
Okay. Bullet point number 5. Oh, holy smoke, this is so bad. You had a weekend with the American Freedom Alliance.
I did.
Judd learned a lot. He's very excited about the American Freedom Alliance. I didn't go. So this is your baby. I'll chime in when I can.
But I did text you like every 15 minutes. You're like driving you crazy while you're doing your podcast.
You were.
Right?
You're like, this is the best. I'm learning so much. My thumbs hurt.
Another guest.
All right, so American Freedom Alliance weekend with Judd Dunning.
Couple shots.
2 minutes.
I just feel so good.
I just want the record to show I'm being very generous here. I've never had a bullet point all to myself.
Okay, yeah, it's true. I took it. That's because I was prepping earlier. Okay, so here's the bottom line. So there's a couple concepts in the long game for liberals, and one is called the long march into our institutions. Now that comes from Mao Zedong's military retreat during the wars of Red China, where they ended up marching all of their people slowly to death.
So he would take people and he would just march until they were all dead.
Several marches, right?
That's extremely cruel, and it takes a long time.
And 70 billion people were killed under Mao. So he is the greatest murderer. So that's how serious we're saying that. So in every institution, be it education, be it religion, be it politics, be it our financial institution, there has been a long game to liberal progressivism, which goes back to the Hegelian dialects, which then goes into Marcuse. There's a lot of theory in the long game of deconstructing our society.
You lost me when you started talking about dialects.
Right.
Okay, so you're saying we have these big institutions, and the suggestion is the liberals are coming at them, and they're slowly but surely going to erode them.
It's a plan since the 50s. I mean, they even said that there are reports that we interviewed people during the Cold War that like 60 homosexual priests from the Red Army were put into a number of the positions in the church under different intentions. We've had the institutions of the within the educational facilities. Like we slowly now we've taken power for the unions. The unions really don't care. They are only focused on their own agenda.
Right.
And now if you don't call someone binary, or if you don't, they've slowly used the same principles the 60s and the baby boomers to deconstruct that. They've deconstructed our courts. We now have, because we're pulling God out of our institutions, we now have people considering sex robots, or eventually NAMBA is still involved. We're accommodating more faux diversity to deconstruct our American institutions.
So what's the end game at the end? So they get rid of the church. So then it's the government, and they get rid of all these institutions. What's the end game?
The claim of hope through we had Horowitz there, Brent Bozell, we had amazing speakers. The claim is that you eventually have to call the left by their same game. You have to say that they're bigoted and power hungry. You have to call the game of trying to take over our institutions with a Green New Deal or through gender deconstruction or attacking the Supreme Court. You have to call it what it is, which is power-based bigotry. So it was great. Don't forget. Stay awake.
So it all leads to communism?
It all leads to the long march. If you can deconstruct the institutions, our borders, we can deconstruct our borders, we can deconstruct our institutions, we eventually will rely on the state. It comes back to elitism. And the funny thing is, people don't think, like, look at Obama, how he was surrounded by all these radicals. A lot of people, we play long game on the theory of this since the 50s.
Okay.
It's great.
So, well, at least if it ends up with communism, it works.
Yeah.
Everywhere it's been tried, it's been a huge success. All right.
Socialism sucks. Communism sucks. And here's the point. Ilhan Omar and
I'm giving you so much time. I'm begging you to wrap up.
AOC.
I just did a very funny thing. Oh, communism, it always works. And then you fired it back up again.
That's true. Okay. Anyway, the point is, the new freshmen and these people are doing, they don't really understand the long game, though. They're just, they're a
byproduct. I completely agree with you. They're just morons.
So yes.
Okay, so now it's time for us to promote some things. We always start with this. I need an update on the book.
I don't want to talk about the book. The book will be published soon. Red, Blue, Magenta Station. Look, we're about to hit a half a year. We've been doing this, we're almost around 18. We're going to hit 26. By the time we hit a half a year, the show, I promise the book will be out there, be at publishers. So
I remember you making a promise 2 episodes ago.
I know, it's really.
I think the month started with the letter
money.
M.
I am a capitalist. I'm chasing money, but that book will be out shortly and create lots of money for all people. And then here, more excitingly, I tried to get a hold of you. It was like 5 in the morning. You were on Fox and Friends again. You're on your tour again. You've got a lot of projects going on.
I'm having so much fun. It's fun to be on the Fox and Friends. I will get up very, very early in the morning. I won't sleep, and it's weird. It's a weird thing, but I'm getting to know them and their personalities, and it's a lot of fun. And it gives me a chance to talk about the live show, the Loftus Party Live. I'm going on the road doing some stand-up dates. Zanies in Nashville, I want to say May 28th. And then Stand Up Live in Huntsville, Alabama, I want to say May 29th. Get your tickets. Support conservative comedy. I got Reno Collier with me from the Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
Oh, great.
I got Brian Hayner with me from Showtime, and also Jeff Dunham's World Tour. He's an amazing guitarist, an amazing comedian. It's a wonderful show. And for people who talk about why aren't there any funny conservatives anywhere, now you got to put your money where your mouth is, because we're touring the country. You can see it.
How many years have you been doing comedy, Michael?
This is the first year. I'm
You
off
are
to an
great.
amazing start.
Wow. That's amazing. That's right. Yeah, and I'm 30. Okay. So,
All right, so here we are. We're at the wild card.
We're at the wild card.
This is going to be something sexy. This is going to be something with skin or something from pop. It's going to be scandalous, you guys. This is our little tease. See, here's the way the show works. We do like newsy, and then shkapow, wild card.
Okay.
Let's get nutty with it. Let's get crazy. Judd, what's the wild card? What happens when I click this slide?
You're going to find out.
I am looking at rockets.
You've got 250 rockets going into Israel, from Gaza into Israel this week. There's a horrible conflict.
It was like 600.
There was 600 projectiles by the end, right? I don't know what that includes, but it was 250 rockets in the first salvo. And they ended up, what happened is a couple guys were picked up. I know this is, wait, we'll get to the pop culture. I promise you. You haven't seen this one. Look, we got to talk about the Jews because the Jews are awesome. That's where I'm getting to. So look, they were attacked again. Worst conflict since 2014. 2 snipers took out 2 Israeli soldiers. There was a retaliatory strike. No Democrats are supporting Israel except 1. 20 are wishing everybody a happy Ramadan. And meanwhile, there's been this brutal conflict that just went into a truce today. But my point is, let's remember why we support the Jews, the Book 1 people, and also some of the greatest minds in art. And by the way, I want to show you a little, see, here's the tragedy. I want to show you a little chart, Michael, a little intellectual chart. So all of the religions rate the Jews as the coolest. I just want you to know, this is a rating of people. Jews are cool. They're funny. Seth Rogen, for example, he's kind of cool. Woody Allen, they're amazing Jews. Go to the next slide, Michael Loftus.
I don't know if I should.
Wait,
this is our wild
Put another minute on the clock.
This is our wild card segment, and you've taken the brave stance to say Jews are cool.
I just wanted to bring some light to this horrible attack. Okay.
Okay, there's some celebrities.
Yes.
There's some celebrities.
Right. Do you have any? Did you know that James Franco was a Jew? I didn't. Amazing, right? Look. There's so many people here. You wouldn't even realize we're Jewish. I mean, there's tons of people. So,
welcome to Bullet Points.
It's Bullet Points.
We're outing Hollywood Jews.
That's right. Welcome to all the Jews. There's so many great. Look, James Gyllenhaal. Doesn't that sound like Arctic to you? So. But the next thing is you wanted to talk about one of our favorite Jews.
No, it's too late for that. It's too late.
Go to the next slide.
Listen, no, I will not. I'm done taking orders from you. I'm done letting you hijack frickin' our wild card segment. Like, what am I supposed to do? Disagree? No, Judd. Jews aren't cool. Well, I'll say this for the record: having been to Israel, I will. You know what Jews are? They're very patient. They're very patient. Because I tell you what, if this was America and like Vermont lobbed 600 rockets over to Rhode Island, and if I was in Rhode Island, I'd be like, that's the end of Vermont. We will no longer be having this discussion. Right. That's the gong means give Mike 2 more minutes.
Keep going.
Because he was very patient. What's going on in the Middle East is so incredibly disgusting. And the way that the people in Palestine and their leaders are just literally, they're wasting these poor people's lives. Because here's what's going on. The Jews have the Iron Dome, the anti-missile defense system.
Right.
That got most of the 600. They got most of the 600.
One car was hit or
so
something.
You know that Hamas knows this. You know that they know this. So that they lob over 600. Oh, we'll lob over 600, knowing that Israel's going to retaliate. And you've got Hamas going, boy, I hope some kids get hurt. I really hope some kids get hurt so that we can roll into Ramadan with a bunch of new martyrs and raise some more money to dig some more tunnels to keep this crap going longer and longer. I'm out of patience. I really feel bad for the Palestinian people. I really do. Your leaders are screwing you over. They are screwing you over, and they are wasting your lives like pawns on a chessboard.
Yeah. Yeah, and the rest of the Middle East, it's on a money conveyor belt. The rest of the Middle East encourages them to every so often to martyr so many of their citizens.
It is crazy, and I've said this before. When you go over to Israel and it's a wonderful country, you can make wonderful things happen, and then you drive across literally over into Palestine, and it is not good. Palestinian people, your leaders are failing you. You can have wonderful lives. The Jews got out of the Gaza Strip, and what did they get for it? They got nothing. Mm-hmm. They got nothing. Everyone wants to be happy. Everyone wants to live in a house and not get bombed. I'm sure that's true of the Israelis, and I'm sure that's true of the Palestinian people. Your leaders are screwing you over. And boy, they should be happy I'm not in there with Netanyahu, because I'd be like, baby, let's just do it.
I think they are, actually. I mean, I think the bottom line is Ilhan, Omar, AOC, so many people are distorting our recent victory of blessing Jerusalem as the capital with Trump. There's this amazing breakthrough with the Jewish people, and all we're doing is like watching like ramping anti-Semitism. So Jews are cool, Michael Loftus.
Like I disagreed. Hey, there's a picture of Adam Sandler on SNL. That would have been funny.
A great Jew.
There's another one that would have been funny. This is our GIF, our GIF for the end. It's like the Matrix out there.
Get out of the Matrix.
That's right.
It's
a red
LLE. There's a little code in there. Learn, enlighten, and educate.
It was learn, laugh.
Ah, thank you.
Learn, laugh. I finally remembered it for the very end of the show. I remembered it. Listen, you guys, I'm Michael Loftus.
I'm Judd Dunning.
That's our show. Thanks for subscribing. Tell your friends. Share the clips.
And I'm not going to fight you for the last word. We're just going to go now. Thanks for coming out and watching our new show, Bullet Points with Michael Loftus and Judd Dunning. Make sure to subscribe, tell your friends, spread the good red word, and hit the little bell below so you get notifications every time we come out with a new show.